Greetings, fellow Whovians, and welcome to Timey Wimey Review. Let's talk about Doctor Who at San Diego Comic-Con 2024. There were some big announcements made in the famous Hall H, which we'll get to talk about and put my thoughts on this huge news. So if you like what you see and hear, please hit the subscribe button. That'll really help out this channel. But more importantly, this video is dedicated to actress Yazine Churchman, who sadly passed away at the age of 99. A legendary actress from the world of television and radio, most famous for many Whovians for providing the voice of Alpha Centauri in the Pedalon adventures from the classic era of Doctor Who, as well as making a return as Alpha Centauri in The Empress of Mars, the 12th Doctor episode. She's going to be sadly missed. Thoughts and love to all the family and friends at this very sad time. So, Doctor Who at San Diego Comic-Con 2024. Again, huge markup with the BBC and Disney joint production for this era of Doctor Who that continues to be strong and solid despite all the recent rumours, as you can check out in my recent video regarding the Deadline article. But yeah, it looks like pretty big things happening at San Diego. It looks fantastic. They had like the part of the TARDIS set as part of their section in the Comic-Con, as well as selling the 15th Doctor's sonic screwdriver from Character Toys. That looks pretty cool. I bet that sells out a bit like the 14th Doctor's sonic screwdriver last year. I'll check that out and keep an eye on that. Obviously, I posted quite a few photos as well from my X and Facebook pages regarding San Diego. Does look like it's a great time. If you are at San Diego Comic-Con, let me know in the comments below, because it does look a lot of fun. And we're expecting some big announcements with Doctor Who having their own panel in Hall H this Comic-Con, and yes, we got that. So on stage we had Ncuti Gatwa, Millie Gibson as 15th Doctor and Ruby Sunday respectively, and of course showrunner Russell T Davies, to make the huge announcement that there will be a spin-off series for Doctor Who. This is what's been heavily rumoured for months on end on social media. It has now been officially confirmed. We will be getting that spin-off, and it is going to be called The War Between the Land and the Sea, something that the Doctor heavily dropped at in season 1 of Doctor Who in the episode 73 Yards. So this is the write-up courtesy of Doctor.TV. Russell Tovey and Gugu Mbatha Raw lead the cast of a new Doctor Who spin-off series for the BBC and Disney Plus, alongside Doctor Who alumni Gemma Redgrave and Alexander Deverent. Today, in brackets Friday 26th of July, the BBC and Disney branded television jointly announced the first brand new Doctor Who spin-off titled The War Between the Land and the Sea during San Diego Comic-Con. The series is created by Doctor Who showrunner and executive producer Russell T Davies, who has written the series with Pete McTighe. In the 5-part series is Russell Tovey, who has been, of course, Alonso in Doctor Who, as well as many other shows such as Feud, American Horror Story, and also leading this cast is Gugu Mbatha Raw, again also been in Doctor Who, and of course in Surface and Loki. The series will also see the return of Unit alumni Gemma Redgrave, who is of course Kate Stewart in Doctor Who and has also been in other shows, and Alexander Deverent, who is also in Doctor Who as Colonel Ibrahim. Write-up for the synopsis is: when a fearsome and ancient species emerge from the ocean, dramatically revealing themselves to humanity, an international crisis is triggered. With the entire population at risk, units step into action as the land and sea wage war. Russell T Davies, showrunner, writer and executive producer, says, "I'm so lucky to work with such a magnificent cast, and this is a huge, muscular, thrilling drama which will shake the Whoniverse to its foundations. When the Doctor is not in town, the whole of humanity is in trouble." And that's what Russell T Davies said during the Comic-Con panel, announcing Russell and Gugu Mbatha, and stating these are different characters. They're not going to be the same one, so it's not going to be Alonso and it's not going to be Tish for Gugu, which I thought was quite interesting, because I thought, if any, there was lots of rumours, lots of people wanting to bring back Freema Agyeman as Martha Jones to make her return to Doctor Who. heavily rumoured possibly for this spin-off. And obviously when they quickly said Gugu's name, then you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, it's going to be Tish, it's going to be Martha's sister. Nope, that's been denied by Russell T Davies. They say they're going to be brand new characters in their own right. Not mentioned in this write-up, but also confirmed by Russell T Davies at the Comic-Con panel, that it will be the Sea Devils that will be as part of this Doctor Who spin-off as well. They are going to be the creatures that emerge from the sea to see basically what Russell T Davies said, that the world's been trashed, it's been polluted, and obviously sees the humans as the ones that have destroyed this beautiful ocean and beautiful land on this planet. Probably that's the triggering point for this war. So let's carry on with the write-up. Lindsay Salt, director of drama at BBC, said the war between the land and the sea is another utterly unique and gripping drama from Russell T Davies, and we're delighted to welcome the show to the Whoniverse, featuring a stellar cast with Russell Tovey and Gugu and Mbatha Raw taking on lead roles. This brand new epic miniseries will leave audiences on the edge of their seats as they watch units take on one of the biggest battles to save humanity. Filming begins next month and will be directed by Dylan Holmes-Williams, director of two season 1 episodes, which was 73 Yards and Dot and Bubble. This is definitely something that was a long time coming, ever since it was announced a few, 2-3 years ago now, that Russell T Davies is coming back to Doctor Who. Then, there was already sparking up the sort of thoughts and suggestions of a spin-off, and here it is coming. So production begins next month, as it said in that write-up, aiming to be, as far as I'm aware, it's aiming to be broadcast next year after season 2, as far as I'm aware. So this is a 5-part mini drama series. So whether this all gets tied up as just a 5-part drama remains to be seen, or is this sort of like them playing it safe and just saying, let's see how the five episodes go, and then maybe go into subsequent seasons the following years. Yeah, I'm excited for this spin-off. I think it's a good idea to bring back the Sea Devils, even though the Legend of the Sea Devils didn't quite go to plan in that Doctor Who episode. It's not one of the best episodes of Doctor Who, unfortunately, but the Sea Devils did look great. That was something that Chris Chibnall was brilliant at doing, sort of bringing back and sort of having a little sort of tweak into the original designs of classic Who villains. And of course, we've seen the Sea Devils before in classic Doctor Who. We had Doctor Who and the Sea Devils, and of course, Warriors of the Deep. So yeah, I think this will be a very interesting spin-off. The one thing, when this was all being rumoured around since the beginning of the year, and probably even sooner, longer than that, is what kind of tone are they going for this spin-off? Is it going to be quite sort of aimed at more sort of a teenage, sort of an older teenage audience like Torchwood, or is it going to be sort of more towards sort of family and children like the Sarah Jane Adventures? I don't think it's going to be the Sarah Jane Adventures road. I think it is going to be more sort of teen drama into sort of adults. So whether it's sort of like they get a bit more free range in terms of violence or strong language or even nudity, again, remains to be seen. But it could be interesting. I think it was a good sort of call to have Gemma Redgrave as supporting, as Kate Stewart and Unit. Whether we see any other sort of part of the Unit family, or the new Unit family, I should say, such as Yasmin Finney or Bonnie Langford, again, remains to be seen. I would imagine there would be somewhere in this spin-off. It would make sense to do that. But definitely exciting stuff ahead for Doctor Who and this spin-off show, The War Between the Land and the Sea. And of course, Russell Tovey and Gugu and Mbatha Raw are going to be fantastic. They're very talented actors and actresses, respectively. Done some great shows for both British and American audiences and movies as well. So it's definitely a fun, interesting time in the world of Doctor Who, in the Whoniverse. Again, a name that they keep dropping during this Comic-Con panel, really going for the Whoniverse logos. I like it as well. Every time they launch an episode of Doctor Who, and on the recent Blu-ray of the Celestial Toymaker, I love seeing that big Whoniverse Marvel style intro into these shows. It's pretty cool. So yeah, remains to be seen. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this announcements? Obviously it was kind of leaked online for months on end, but yeah, now it's official. What do you think about it, of this Doctor Who spin-off, and what would you like to see happen during this spin-off? Let's talk a little bit more about the Doctor Who Comic Con panel in Hall H. So I won't go into too many spoilers because I did manage to see a copy on YouTube, so you know, go nuts, go find it, and enjoy it for yourself. But just to say that, yeah, it was a really good panel, lasted about just under an hour, and yeah, it was really cool to see, of course, Russell, Ncuti and Millie Gibson being there. It was Ncuti and Millie's first time at San Diego Comic-Con, and it looked like they were having a fantastic time. Also, they did a appearance for Variety magazine. They did a video on there, which you can find quite easily on YouTube, answering lots of different questions. And again, all just sort of getting excited for the actual Comic-Con weekend, and obviously these huge announcements. But yeah, back to sort of the panel. The one thing I will sort of mention I thought was pretty cool was when they started having a little segment with Millie Gibson as Ruby Sunday, and they were mainly talking about sort of reflecting on season 1 of Doctor Who, and all the episodes that they were involved in. And when it mentioned Ruby, it started to snow. I thought that was a pretty cool touch there. Also debunking some of the rumours about Millie Gibson's time on the show. Is it over? Absolutely not. Obviously the kind of parked her in that sort of book ending. Obviously she's dealing with building a new sort of family. A little bit of a sort of spoiler into sort of episode 4 of season 2, where it's going to be, it sounded like from what Russell was saying, that it's going to be more of a singular episode for Ruby, and kind of dealing with a bit of a sort of PTSD trauma of traveling with the Doctor, sort of like adjusting back to your life after traveling to all those places through time and space, and obviously Ruby adjusting to this new family dynamic as seen at the end of Empire of Death of season 1. So that's going to be quite an interesting one to have, because again, something that was not really explored in Doctor Who, particularly with the companions, of sort of dealing with life after the Doctor. I know we've kind of had a few sort of touches on that with some classic companions returning, such as Sarah Jane Smith, Mel, Ace, Tegan, but never really exploring that sort of leaving the Doctor. You know, it's always a heartbreaking departure when a companion goes, but sort of like the life after the Doctor. I think that's going to be quite fascinating, and yeah, if anyone's going to nail it, it's going to be Russell and Millie. But the announcements didn't stop there. Oh no, we got a little bit of an exclusive clip of the upcoming Christmas special, Joy to the World. So in this clip, which you can find quite easily on YouTube, on the official Doctor Who YouTube channel, there was a clip introduced by Nicola Coughlan, who is going to be Joy in this Christmas episode of Doctor Who. Obviously, Nicola and Ncuti Gatwa will be reuniting after their little stint in Barbie, in the movie Barbie, and of course Nicola has become incredibly famous in her time on Bridgerton. So yeah, it's going to be fun seeing her in this Christmas episode. And yes, so a big sort of announcement on it. Obviously, we knew it was going to be written by Stephen Moffat. We knew that obviously it's going to be Ncuti Gatwa and Nicola Coughlan. She's going to be the sort of companion of the piece in this episode as Joy. But also in this, we had a lot of bits of the Doctor bouncing around through time, going onto the Orient Express, going to the North Pole. I'm sure that was Captain Scott when he arrived in there, and war-torn London, and then going into sort of more present-day London, where Joy is in this hotel with the Silurian. So we're going to get the Silurians back. So not only are we getting the Sea Devils for this special, for this spin-off next year, we're also going to get the Silurians for this Christmas special. So we haven't done any Silurians for quite a while. Again, great costume, great makeup effects for the Silurians in this sort of new look of them in modern Doctor Who since we saw them at the series 5 with Matt Smith. as the 11th Doctor. So yeah, it's going to be looking quite fun. Lots of brilliant sceneries of all these little short moments where, like, Raw to London, as I mentioned, and the Orient Express. It honestly, Doctor Who looks so gorgeous. It's amazing. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this Christmas special. I hope you are too. Let me know in the comments, what do you think is going to happen in this Christmas special and season 2 of Doctor Who. As I mentioned earlier in this video, we had an interview for Variety with Ncuti, Millie and Russell, and the interviewer asked one of the questions: if you were to bring a doctor back to come face to face with, which doctor would it be? And both Millie and Ncuti said Matt Smith. So whether that's a hint that Matt Smith is returning, I don't think so. I don't think it was, but yes, please. Yes, please. I would love to see Matt return one more time as the 11th Doctor. I mean, obviously he's a busy man, particularly at the moment in the show The House of the Dragon. I still haven't seen that yet, so again, let me know if it's worth watching, my fellow Whovians. But yeah, I would love to see Matt return. But overall, this was a great Comic-Con outing for Doctor Who. I don't think we've had like a live panel for quite some time. I think the last one was technically the one for Jodie Whittaker, Chibnall, and the rest of the fam, but that was kind of more done on in camera, obviously due to the pandemic. But yeah, it's been a long time since we had Doctor Who at the panel. I think, you know, again, with all the sort of rumours of Doctor Who is dying, low ratings and all that wonderful stuff, no, it's strong, it's solid. And yeah, hopefully bigger and better things to come for season 2, the spin-off and beyond. So let me know in the comments below, what did you think of all the Comic-Con announcements so far? Obviously, we've still got, at the time of recording, Russell T Davies doing a panel with the Star Trek showrunner Alex Kurtzman. So I'm quite interested to see that as part of the Intergalactic Friendship Day, ahead of the International Friendship Day that is happening next week. So yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun as well. I think that's going to be an interesting panel. And yeah, if you're at San Diego Comic-Con, please let me know. Let me know what you think, what your experiences are, what other announcements did you find amazing in anything from this weekend. And if you want to throw in any photographs, I'll put a link in the description for my X page, my Twitter page at Review Timey, and you can put all your photos there. I would love to see your pics. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please like, share and subscribe. Hit the cloister bell for more notifications. Come say hello and follow me on Facebook and X. And do check out my other fantastic Doctor related content on the Timey Wimey Review TikTok page. And of course, right here on the Timey Wimey Review YouTube channel. And as a good doctor once said, I'm a cheese toasty and a pumpkin latte.